So one of the last things that we're going to talk about is learned helplessness. Now this actually is a pretty common phenomenon in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and I'm always amazed by it. But it, like I said, it pretty much happens with everybody. Learned helplessness. What do I mean by that? It's the fact of when you're a white belt and you get absolutely destroyed by purple, brown, black belts, or even blue belts, that you won't be able to match up with those guys at all. And that's not true. I mean, like if they to take it back for like a story kind of situation, like if you've ever seen a large elephant like tied with a little bitty rope to a tree, that's why. They, when they first are born and they're a little bitty elephant, a smaller elephant, they'll try this elephant to tie it to a tree, and it'll try to pull the tree, it'll try to get away, and it can't because it's a small elephant. Well, they learn that, and then when they become a big 2,000 plus pound animal, or I'm sure elephants weigh way more than that, but a large elephant, and they try to they never try to pull it because they've given up on that idea of being able to do that. So with that, we experience it a lot in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, this idea of learned helplessness where, okay, I'm a white belt, I'm never going to be able to beat, a black belt, or I'm never going to be able to beat, a blue belt or a purple belt or whatever. So I might as well just accept my loss now at this point. And that's not true. As long as your technique is solid, I mean, you can be a black belt at Kimura, and be able to get, as a white belt, be able to get a black belt in a Kimura. Should that happen all the time? No. Then you're probably training at the wrong place. But your individual techniques, as long as they're actually really good or the setup's really good, it doesn't mean that you can't beat, a guy that's higher ranked than you or better than you. You would just happen to catch them because your technique at that particular situation was better. And really trying to keep that mindset as much as possible as well. Don't get into this learned helplessness as much as possible. I've talked about when you go and you first start learning, that you should be primarily defensive and trying to, get into good defensive situations rather than attacking so much. But that doesn't mean that you have the mindset of they're going to be able to just to destroy you. You're just working on that particular portion of your game, the defensive side of your game. Like I said, it doesn't mean that you couldn't down the road be more offensive with that particular person. It's just that's what you're working on at that particular time. But then when you get to be a blue, purple, brown, and black belt, just because somebody is probably better than you on paper doesn't mean necessarily that you need to lay down for that particular person and just accept your defeat. So really try to keep that mindset out as much as possible, that learned helplessness. It's just not a good mindset to have in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu because you're not going to be able to go do as well as you could. I'll give one example. We have a purple belt right now that he's really good. When he goes, he'll beat most other guys at grappling as far as his level, maybe even higher. But whenever he goes against me, anytime he gets close to doing a good thing against me, I will hear his heart rate, or not his heart rate, but his breath rate, like go, crazy. And like all of a sudden, he's doing this stuff. And it's because his mentality doesn't match up with his ability. I mean, he might be doing something completely right, but then all of a sudden he's going crazy, and his body will not allow him to win. I mean, and that's pretty crazy to think about. That like since you've established this connection, this learned helplessness, it's pretty much an impossibility in your mind. So it's almost like your body is stopping you from being able to accomplish something, even though it's completely possible. So there's a bunch of information online about it. If you want to look it up, learned helplessness, by all means, don't get caught in that. So thanks.